It's been a learning curve, but it's been a good one.
Absolutely. So Stephen and Angie Thompson are the co-founders of Zilis. Zilis was founded in 2015, and it actually started off, CBD wasn't even in the picture.
Yeah.
It was multivitamin packs for children all over the world, malnutrition children. And so we've just been so impressed with his leadership. I consider him a mentor. He was recently voted one of the top 40 mentors by his peers, and I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
I learn something every time we hear him speak. We're so impressed every time we hear him speak. But he's been in this industry from the development of the product to development of an entire company to the development of an amazing comp plan. And so, over 20 years, he and Angie have done this. And so they've pioneered that industry. Zilis has grown over 500% last year, the year before, and it is on pace to do that again. And I know as a business owner, I'm just excited if I've got a little bit of growth, but to experience 500%, it's amazing. Yeah. And you'll see more about those numbers as we go along. But you can't turn on the TV without seeing something about not only hemp and CBD yeah. and the explosion of the industry and what it's doing for different people in their health. I sure. love that because it's yeah. not just us telling the stories anymore. They're being backed up by science, and you turn on the news and you'll see a doctor that has discovered it, usually from a patient, yeah. and they're talking about it. And so it's featured nationwide. We're so excited about the growth. We're so excited to be part of this company. So let's dive in and talk about the science. Why has CBD exploded? Why have we not been hearing about it all along? Why, when, back in, in the very beginning, when I first was introduced to natural medicine, why didn't anybody tell me about CBD back then? Well, it's because it's a new science, and it's called the endocannabinoid system. And when Christopher talks about not having heard of CBD, we had also not said the word endocannabinol system and couldn't.
Right.
And so we're
still can't. That's why she talks about this screen.
That's the truth. You can shorten that. But
PCS.
Yes, the endocannabinoid system is in anything that has a spine. So animals and human beings as well. And when I think about the endocannabinoid system, I picture it running like just wires running through your brain and through your entire body and affecting all the different systems in the body. And if you're on this as a webinar, you'll see the different systems that run through our body that the endocannabinoid, system maintains, which is, your nervous system and reproductive system, your digestive system. For me, it was the muscular system. When I see those 10 little squares there with those names, it really helps me to understand why when I take CBD, I get results with my back pain, my hip pain, arthritis, joint pain, that type of thing. Definitely had some other benefits as well. And then the next person takes it and that hasn't been sleeping, or they've been dealing with a digestive issue for years. We met a lady last week that, just had huge, stomach issues, got on CBD. She's seeing such results and feeling so much better. What happens with the endocannabinoid system is that it gets out of balance. We all have cannabinoids in our body, and we get low on those. They start running slowly, or they even disappear. And CBD has been found to be the fuel that fuels those cannabinoids and gets that endocannabinoid system back into balance. And so tonight we're going to talk to you about the gold standard of CBD and Zilis. Zilis makes two different types of CBD to affect your body and its health, right? So we have the sublingual that comes in lemon, berry, and raw. Raw is my new favorite. I'll tell you a little bit about that as we go along. And then the topical. The topical is made exactly the same way. It has the same science. It has the same technology behind it, but it's great for putting directly on a source of pain when you're wanting to get relief. And so I'm going to tell you 4 things that if someone says to you, what am I looking for when I'm buying CBD, and why am I going to pick Zilis? What sets it apart? And the first one is full spectrum. Full spectrum is the opposite of an isolate. So an isolate means that the only thing in your bottle is CBD. And it's, I've heard about people that start off there and then they discover about full spectrum, and they want to, have the benefit of all the other compounds. There's 400 compounds that are included in the hemp plant, And when you use a full spectrum oil, you get all of those compounds. And the other thing that I think we'll just continue to discover more and more about, and you'll have to kick me when I stay on this too long, but you know, CBD is not the only cannabinoid in the hemp plant. There are over 100, and they're discovering every day what those cannabinoids do for our health. And then we've got vitamins and minerals, omegas, proteins, but the terpenes, I know you've been asking me a little bit about that, but the terpenes do so many things for the health of our body as well. So when you choose a full spectrum oil, it just gives you the entourage effect, and you get all of those benefits of those great things, natural things that are in that. It is so natural and so healthy that it's also pet friendly.
Yeah.
And so I know we have a few people on the call tonight that either have a retail space where they are, you know, in the pet business, or they're a veterinarian. And I want to tell you that we have seen some of the most amazing stories about people's pets either suffering from anxiety, maybe separation anxiety, or get really freaked out during a storm, like your cat, or, you know, just joint aches. We have a family dog that's 13 that has a lot of joint pain. And so one drop for every 20 pounds of a pet is beneficial to them. And you just think about that, how you can get it into their body, and with the science behind the system, you know, the endocannabinoid system, you can help them as well as your family. And I know they're also family. So another important thing about Zilis is that we have the U.S. Hemp Authority certified. We've been stamped, and there are very few companies that have that. And so we are the first topical to ever have it. So we're pretty proud of that as well. And so just a couple of things before I click the slide that I want to talk about, and I'll make it fast, I promise. But two other things that you want to consider when you're buying CBD for your family, right, is where was the hemp grown? What was in the soil? It's pretty important to me that it was grown in the U.S., that we know what was happening in the soil, that it's healthy, clean, doesn't have a bunch of chemicals in it. Because remember, hemp's a very porous plant. And
I love the way it's extracted.
Yes. And so you want to talk about that?
Yeah. You know,
I'll be quiet.
We use a CO2 cold press, you know, that, you know, the cheapest way is actually to burn it. And I can't speak that I've tried this, but I've heard that you can tell real quick when they've used that method, because it'd be like smells like an ashtray. Yeah. So with Zilis, they use the CO2, the cold press, and just a lot of like 20,000 pounds to extract the oil out of it.
So it's a much more healthier way to look. So far we've talked about full spectrum, the way it's extracted. You want it to be a CO2 method, and where that hemp was grown. And the most important thing that you can consider when looking at CBD oil, and the thing that we're proudest about with Zilis, is the technology behind it. There's a problem. CBD is an oil, and we need it to be water soluble to have a high absorption rate in our body. And so this technology is exclusive to Zilis, and it just gets in the body so quickly. That is the number one thing I hear from my clients that I sell CBD to, if they've been on another brand, is how much faster it works, and how much longer it works throughout the day, and how many more results that they feel. And the reason for that is because of the absorption rate. I don't care how many milligrams you've got in a bottle of CBD. If you don't have a high absorption rate, you're not going to feel the results, or you're going to have to take so much of it. And the most you need of Zilis is a milliliter a day. And I'm taking less and less of it. I literally need drops at a time. And so I like dividing it up, taking a little bit in the morning, a little bit before we speak, or at bedtime I take a little bit as well. But I like the fact that Zilis said, we're not going to just say that we've got this technology. We're going to bring in a third party and do a clinical study. That was done in February of 2018. They took 20 people, they gave them 1 milliliter of CBD, and they tested their blood every hour. And you can even see in the first hour, it skyrockets up to, before even the first hour, it's at 60 and 80% absorption. But as that, a 12-hour time period goes on, it peaks up to, for many, many people, up to 94%. And the standard in the nation is 3 to 6%.
Yeah.
And that's a huge difference. And I think that's why I get the phone calls when people try it for the first time, when they're comparing it to another oil. Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
That ultracell technology, don't forget, is in both products, both the sublingual and the topical.
Exactly.
So one works from the inside out, the other one works from the outside in.
Yep.
So, but they both get there at a fast absorption and stay there for a long period of time.
Christopher has migraines, and one of the things he loves to is almost like time it. Like if he feels it coming on, he'll use the topical, rub it on his neck or on his temples, wherever the migraine's coming from, and literally within minutes you feel relief. And it's so much better compared to the amount of
Excedrin migraine that I was taking.
You were living on that.
Yeah.
So, Zilis doesn't want to be just a CBD oil company. And so lucky for us, they developed these boosters. And the awesome thing about the boosters is that they have the exact same science mimicked from the CBD. The same technology is used. The important thing to remember about the boosters is they do not contain CBD. So they stand alone. You can take them alone, or you can take them along with your CBD, but they will definitely boost the results of the CBD. And they're real targeted, and that's what I like about it. And so Ultra Ice, first one that I was introduced to, it came in our gold package, and we were like almost scared to open them. We were like, we want to sell this, right? And now we can't keep it. But the ice is exactly like it sounds like. It's like putting ice on something that hurts. I use ice 3 times a day, full droppers full, because for those of you who know me, I was really struggling with back and hip issues, lots of procedures that have been done, trying to avoid major surgeries. Really was wondering how much longer I was going to be able to stand behind the chair. I mean, it was rough. Ice is full of turmeric and other natural anti-inflammatory ingredients that, combined with that science, they get into your system so quickly. I mean, like within 15 minutes, I'll feel relief. Yeah. If I don't take ice, I feel it. Ice is great for anything that comes from, that you're trying to help with, that comes from inflammation. So, which is almost every disease, truly.
Yeah.
Edge is for cognitive thinking, focus, a little bit of energy. It's got B12 in it, but I never feel nervous from taking Edge. It just gives you a little edge, but it also just helps so much with brain function. And so I take a half a dropper of Edge every morning. You can take more in the afternoon if you need that little pickup, but I would highly recommend that you study the ingredients that are in Edge and discover amazing things that they do if you're trying to do some prevention of some other diseases. And that's all I'll say. I use the word disease. And Dream is the #1 selling booster at the salon, #1 selling product besides CBD, because so many people struggle with sleep.
Yeah.
I take 4 drops of Dream every night and get a good solid 7 hours of sleep. Dream is full of GABA and chamomile and melatonin. And so remember, though, the difference, if you're thinking, well, I've tried melatonin and it didn't work, I'm telling you, with this, because of the science behind it and the absorption, that how it works, technology, it's going to work for you, and it's going to work fast, and you're only going to need a little bit. That's my advice about Dream.
Start small. Yeah.
Burn is our newest booster. It is, for lack of a better word, a weight loss supplement. Yeah. It helps so much, curving the appetite, reduces cravings. Also, again, if you study some of the ingredients in Burn, you'll discover that there are many natural ingredients, botanicals, that have been found to help with mood. I like the way I feel on Burn. I take Burn 3 times a day before each meal. So those are the 4 boosters. Remember, most important thing about them is that they do not contain CBD. They have the same science that we use for the CBD products. And so the results are fast and for a long period of time throughout the day. Is this me?
It's you.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about in the beginning about Stephen and Angie's leadership qualities, but one of the things that really stood out with us with him is his heart.
Yep.
Because remember, in 2015, when Zilis started, they were making multivitamin packs for kids. And it's important to you and I that if you are a successful company, a successful human being, you should be giving back to the community or to the world. It's just important. And so they do that, and they do it well. They give over 1 million prenatal vitamins every day for expectant mothers. But the thing that got our attention the most is the Patriot program, and it's designed to help our veterans. So, our veterans are coming home from serving for us with PTSD and depression, addiction to opiates, and CBD. That's probably the first thing we started hearing about CBD, is how much it helps with those things. And so Stephen has made it available so that our veterans can get the product at a wholesale cost. They can also now come on and join us in this adventure of a business and sell it as well at a discount. But he's going to make sure that our veterans have this product available to them.
So we just got through talking about the product.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna dive right into the opportunity. Zilis is the leading CBD industry, leading the CBD industry. Mm-hmm. And what's amazing is they've done it without any $0 advertising, mm-hmm. Which I just find fascinating. And I've heard the story comparison. Zilis doesn't have any retail stores. Mm-hmm. It's all done by word of mouth. Mm-hmm. From us, people like you and me. When you look at Uber doesn't own any cars. Mm-hmm. So I compare kind of that same scenario, and just love that the direction that Stephen's taken this comp plan. I think it's incredible, and can't wait to share it with you here.
Absolutely.
So there's seven ways that you can earn income here, and we're going to talk about some of them. The first one's retail, but one of the things that I love about it is the flexibility. You can work from home. You can work in your car. In your car. Don't make sure your hands free and not texting or anything like that. But no, you can do it over lunch, over a cup of coffee. It's endless opportunities to share this business. You can set your own hours. Mm-hmm. All you need really is a smartphone or a computer, which is very little when you talk about getting into a business. I know with the salon, we're about to build a new building, but I know that there's a huge cost to not just starting a business, but even moving into another building. Just the setup of everything that's required, the upkeep and all that. So you have 7 ways. I always laugh about this slide because, I work in a corporate world where this looks like my paycheck, but it's the 7 things they've deducted out of it. Yeah. So
instead of adding to it, they're taking it away.
Yeah, exactly. But what's great is you have the unlimited potential of earning so much just for sharing this product. Mm-hmm. Kim, share with us, the retail side of it.
Okay. So when I was introduced to this product and discovered how much it helped me, I knew that I wanted to share this with people that I knew. I wanted to share it at least with the clients in my chair. And of course, then you start wanting to share it with family and friends that would benefit from it as well. But Stephen made it very aggressive. From what we've been told in other social marketing, you make like one set price for the product. You sell a bottle of this, you get this price. And so with Stephen, he set it up to have a unique tiered pricing where the more that you order, the less expensive it is for you. Therefore, the greater the profit, and you make up to 200%. And I know it's not like that with shampoo. Yeah. And so it's so exciting to see the potential as a business owner. If you are a business owner and you have a storefront, chiropractor, or a salon owner, a yoga studio, any type of natural health, any type of store. We've got somebody doing very, very well, and he has a granite store, and he sells this stuff like crazy out of his granite store because he's talking about it. Right. And that's what it takes, is just sharing the product. Right. But I would say to you, if you're thinking, yeah, Kim, but you do great because of the salon, that's definitely a piece of it. But I feel like everybody on this call knows someone in the beauty business or in the health and wellness industry to where, that's your thing, is you want to get somebody involved. It doesn't have to be you. Sure. You get someone involved and you make just as much on some of these profit areas that are like that. So retail is definitely key there.
So the power of duplication, the person in green, I'm going to say is me, for example, and I've shared this with 4 people who I personally sponsored, and they share it with 4, and then 4, and then 4, and you can see how it just magnifies. And I'm telling you, this is awesome. This is what I call the power of duplication. I think when I think of duplication, I think there's 2 processes there. One is the signing up 4 and 4 by 4 by 4 by 4. But I think also the other thing is the time you spend with your downline, helping them to build their team, duplicating to be able to, for them to get on a Zoom and do this presentation, and what are the things that they need to build their team the same very way. But
Right.
all it is sharing the product.
Yeah, absolutely.
Planting the seed.
Yep. So the binary is one of your other ways that you get paid, and this piece of the pie, what I call it, is paid every single week, and you get up to $130 on every single person when you personally enroll them, but you make up to 20% on your team's enrollments all the way through unlimited levels. And so you can, the very first week, you can be making $250 a week. And I know several people that $1,000 a month's going to change their life.
Yes.
And when we first started looking at this, we were like, if we can just get to area, we can make that land payment.
Yep.
Of course, things have changed, and we've grown from there. But it totally is on just building that left and that right team. And so I think it's extremely important to almost think of it in that duplicating that 4 by 4. I'm going to share this with 4 people. That's going to be my original goal. Who do I know that could benefit from this product? Who do I know that would like some extra income or has a dream that they want fulfilled in their life? I showed you that land, and I said, I don't know where this is coming from. I promise I wasn't looking, but I can visualize us here. And so we dove in using it, and I've lately been calling it the nooks and crannies of my life, in between clients, in the car, make a phone call, just different ways to share this product, and this opportunity can grow your binary power very, very quickly.
Yeah, residual income. Here's another way. And let's talk about generations for those that may not understand this. So everybody that I personally sign up, whether it's 1 or 100 people, that is my first generation. Okay. And anybody they sign up would be my second generation. And anybody they sign up would be my 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th and so on. And once you hit, area, you unlock this through infinity. But let's just look at these 6 generations. If everybody you sign up for, they sign up for, you have the ability to have 4,096 friends. Yeah, exactly. and do the math. If they all purchase 1 bottle, and you're getting somewhere between 2 to 5%. So you're getting somewhere around $1.60 to, let's say, $5 a bottle. You do the math at 4,096. This is a pretty good monthly income. This is just one of the 7 ways.
Like $17,000.
And this is really, for the first time, this is what Kim and I are seeing as in call mailbox money. And we've never had that. I'm in the corporate world where I'm salary. So, no matter how long I work, there's no way for me to make extra income or change my paycheck.
Right.
Kim, on the other hand, is behind the chair. And so, she's there probably 60 hours a week. Yeah, she is. And for her to make some extra income, it would be being behind the chair even longer, and you just can't do it. But this is really where we're really starting to see and get excited on this process,
this is
because
the fastest growing piece of
it. The 4th of July, we were in Canada, and we were on vacation, and we wake up and realize we just got paid, and what's great about it is you share this product one time, and it continues to pay, not this next month, the following month, and for a long time to come.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
incredible residual income is a blessing.
pretty exciting. Yes.
So the benefits program, and I love this. Kim shared earlier about what we do back towards the community, how we feel, how important it is to give back. And Stephen, if you haven't heard him, I hope you get to real soon. He's an incredible speaker, but you can tell real quick that he has a passion for people giving back, and it's very obvious in his benefits program.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start with the first one. As we signed up for, we get the blessing bonus.
Mm-hmm.
You have the potential of getting up to $500 a month, and all that's required is that you give it away.
Yeah.
You pay it forward. And I can't help but think of, I know Kim shared with me not too long ago, she was going through the Starbucks line and somebody before her had picked up her.
My first time.
Yeah. But I've also been there where I've done it, and it's just as exciting doing it, knowing that you may have made somebody else's day.
Sure.
I got the opportunity to give this away to one of my employees that had taken on a big responsibility with some other kids, and I knew with school coming up that they could really use the help, and it's so rewarding to give it back.
Yeah, absolutely. What are you gonna do this month?
I don't know.
We haven't talked about it yet.
Yeah.
We got paid today.
So you sign up 4 more. That's 4x4. Nothing says 4x4 like Jeep. We qualified for a Jeep on day 28. It was probably 3 months after that before we realized that this is for real.
It's real.
And we went out and purchased. Zilis went out and got our Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
I will tell you, when somebody else is paying for your vehicle, it rides, it looks, it drives better than any other vehicle. And I will.
What's interesting too about the Jeep is that if you choose not to buy a Jeep, you can take half of the money in cash, and so that's pretty sweet.
Pretty good deal.
Exactly.
You sign up 4 more, and you get the health care.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things as I look at as we get older, I think healthcare comes more into play than it did when we were probably in our 20s. But, a lot of people, that keeps them working in the working world, not because that could be a $2,000 a month just for healthcare. Wow. And it's something they have to have.
Sure.
Whether they paid their house off or their cars are paid for, it's still that $2,000 a month when they really need healthcare isn't there. Stephen's given us the opportunity that when you sign up that 4x4 that you qualify for the health care. Kim was self-employed and had to pay for her own health care, and it was expensive. When we got married, immediately got to bring her on with my employee health care. So all we did was take a picture of my insurance card along with my paycheck stub, and they pay that every month. They pay our health care.
Absolutely.
So you sign up 4 more, and you get the global pool. This takes 2% of everything that Zilis sells and puts it in a global pool. And quarterly, it's paid out to regional or above. So you can see Kim and I have now gone through 2 quarters where we've gotten paid, and it's more than doubled each time. So as the company grows, we grow. This quarterly pool bonus grows as well. So I'm excited that when you see the numbers of what's projected, what will this be, in 2 years, 5 years, or even at the end of the year, to be honest with you.
Exactly.
You sign up 4 more, you get the motor coach. Again, like the Jeep, you can take half of its cash value if you choose to not get the motor coach. But the 2 restrictions behind it are that it has to be diesel and 34 feet long. Who doesn't want a motor coach?
I think it's amazing that he made this part of our comp plan. I think he saw the importance of it setting this company apart from others besides the product.
Yes.
Once you decide to operate this as a business, this is a huge piece of it that we're getting to see. So the future, I love talking about this, and we're getting to see these numbers. I told you in the very beginning that Zilis grew 500% in the last 2 years. We're on pace to grow even more than that. The industry, that's what these numbers are. These are hemp industry CBD numbers that we're expected to grow 700% by 2020 and $22 billion by 2022. And then the one that just, I tried to do the math, and I'm from Garland and got lost in it, but $1 trillion industry by 2030. When you think back to that last slide and you think about if this industry continues to explode the way that Forbes and Time, Newsweek, Wall Street Journal are saying that it's going to, and Zilis is leading the industry, and those numbers and the growth that Zilis is having, then every single quarter when that global bonus comes around, that's going to be a huge piece of what we're experiencing. And I think that 90% of the success of this whole thing is the timing. I feel blessed that we missed the formulation part, and we kind of came in during concentration. They were just getting out in the markets, getting it all over the United States. And to think it hasn't even gone worldwide yet, we still have that piece, and that we're ahead of that piece, and that's coming, that the momentum is just starting. And I love Stephen's presentation that he does, where he shows different social marketing companies and shows during this momentum what happens, and the people that came in during the right time, which is now, and the way that it exploded during the momentum, and that time can take 5 to 10 years, so that we could be a part of this for that long is very exciting. So I think that when you look at these numbers, these are real. One thing that you always remind me of with the $1 trillion industry, if you're trying to wrap your head around that, is that's more than tobacco and corn combined, that this hemp industry. I don't think I told you, I got a private message from a guy that used to live here, moved to Oklahoma, had land in the family, and he's starting to grow hemp because of the laws that were passed in December, and he wanted to know if you wanted to invest in it.
Yes.
I'm like, we'll stick to selling it and let someone else grow it. But I was thinking maybe your dad might want to do something with that land in Canton. So we're going to share with you now the 3 different ways that you can get involved with Zilis. And no matter how you come into this, you get support. You get your personal website for cheaper. I mean, just what you come in as, I paid more for the website at the salon than this, and then your Zilis cloud. If you are a business person and you want to operate this and be able to help your team, you have the number support to look up the different reports, training. There are videos, there's information, there are resources that are at our fingertips. And then most of all, like we talked about, is that wholesale pricing. No matter how you come into this company, you get that wholesale pricing. And so you can make up to 200% on your retail earnings. And so here are the 3 ways where you can get started today. First one is bronze. Bronze is $199, and you make 10% on your binary team. And the thing that Christopher and I always want to share with you about bronze, it's a great way to dip your toe in. It's a great way. It's what I do with my clients that just want to order the product, because they come in and yes, they set up on auto ship. And so they have their monthly product come into them, and they can change that out as long as they change it before it's shipped. If they're on Dream, they can change it to Dream. If they're low on CBD. So it's a great way to come in just for product for yourself.
I look at that. The little bottle's mine.
Yeah.
The other bottle's yours.
That's right.
And then day 8, we're going to be placing an order.
That's right. And the silver package is $599. And now you can start operating a business, because Zilis did one of the smartest things I've ever seen. I wished every shampoo company would do this, but they made 7-day challenge bottles. And so I can say to you, did it twice today, be proud of me. I would say, I can tell that you're tired. I've got a client today that's a new principal, and she's tired.
School just started.
Tired. This is her first school to be a principal at. She's stressed. You could see it in her jaw. And I said, what would it take for you to get this in your body and just experience the benefits of it? She said, I'll do it. So I was able to, charge her a small amount, so that she can try it, get in her body. So that was Thursday. I'm going to check back with her on Sunday. I'm going to see how she's feeling, but I couldn't have done that if they hadn't provided these challenge sizes. And I like that. So for $599, I get 12 of those. I get 15% off of my binary team, and I get 1 large topical and 1 large sublingual. But the way that we came in, and the way that we highly suggest that you do as well is the gold. And the gold is $1,299, but you make $1,000 profit right off the bat. This is not going to last you long. You get 5 large bottles of sublingual, and you get the raw, which is my favorite. And you get 24 of those sublinguals, or of the 7-day challenge, and 12 of them are topical, and those are fantastic. Christopher likes to share those with his golfing buddies. It's great for if you know someone that's experiencing pain. We had a little girl yesterday that we shared it with because of her hands. Judy, I don't know if she's on here, but that's how Judy got into this, and now she's a regional ambassador. But the most important fun thing about the gold package is that you get the boosters. And so you get Ice, Edge, Dream, and Burn, and you get 20% off your binary team. So $12.99 for the gold package is what Christopher and I recommend.
Woohoo!
Let me sum it up one little bit. Yes, I know you want to talk about Fall Fest, but I just want to sum up product-wise 4 things that are so important.
Yep.
It's full spectrum, where your hemp was grown. Is it healthy? Is the soil healthy? How was it extracted? And then our technology that sets us apart, that makes it water soluble, makes the absorption rate off the charts. You're not going to find another CBD like it. That's when people say to me, why should I buy your CBD? This is why. And then secondly, the timing is now. This business is exploding. You saw the numbers and what this industry is going to do. So we're excited to share with it. What do you want to say about